Bless the Enugu priests. They've all galvanized themselves to go out there to protest against the Fulani marauders. It is about time for us as Christians and Southerners to understand that our prayers alone will not defeat these Fulani headsmen. I'm going to show you the video where the priests, where they amass themselves, about 10,000 Enugu Catholic priests were on the streets of Enugu protesting that the governor must rise up. Either the governor fight for the approval for guns. You know, if an ordinary citizen cannot hold guns, the priests, let them hold guns so that they can secure their congregation. Enough is enough. The last time the Fulani herders went to Adoni, they went to Hewa Mufu, they went to so many, interlands, and these are rural areas within the borders of Southern Benue and Enugu State, where so many lives were broad daylight were taken and were cut short. We've had enough. We have to understand that if we do not rise up, these Fulani marauding herders will think that they own and they only have the monopoly to terrorize other groups. The last time, while we were still complaining that there has been so many killings going on in Plateau State, having killed over 500 people in less than 3 months in Plateau, what the federal government thought deemed and that they felt is the right thing to do was to go and create a grazing reserve. A grazing reserve in Plateau State where over 500 souls were taken cold-blooded. Okay, cold-blooded. I'll show you another video where a woman whom her 3 sons and husband were all pied. I mean, watch the video now.
Be able to recognize them.
Don sun zo suna ta yaren su, suna ta barazana, suna ta yaren su wai ina Allah mu ya soka ya cece mu, yau za su kashe mu, za su gama mu.
That night they came and they were speaking their language, dialect, and after speaking their dialects, they said, "Where is your God? They are going to kill you today. We are going to kill you today. We are going to burn your houses." They killed her 3.
Now, welcome back. So you understand that we can no longer be quiet and be absorbing the pain, be absorbing the terrorism upon us, the abuse of our human rights, broad daylight. It is nobody. See, when you do not have the capacity to impose violence, you cannot enjoy peace. The Fulani herders, the Fulani, whoever they are, they have enjoyed relative peace in Nigeria because every tribe, whether you're a Yoruba person, whether you're an Igbo person, when you say a Fulani man, you still say you're Yoruba. Before you know, they will bring out dagger. So we would not want to offend them. And that shouldn't be the situation. You get the point. So what we need to do is, when you show grace, I show you grace. It has to be aura for aura. It shouldn't be a situation whereby it is only you that has the capacity to, to impose fear. No! If you show me grace, I show you grace. Now, so it's supposed to be. Look at what is going on in Palestine and Pakistan, Palestine and India today. Palestinians went to, they went to invade a community in India because they've always had this long-standing beef. I'm just going to be brief about it. Please pay attention. They've always had this long-standing beef. And it's just like the beef that the Fulanis and the Igbos have always had in Nigerian politics. A Fulani man will say, I can never trust an Igbo man. If I give an Igbo man power, it will divide the country. And the Igbo man has been absorbing that abuse, that molestation, that marginalization. The Igbo man has not taken his time to stand up. Since 1966, that they stopped that war in 1970, and the Igbo man has not stood up outright. The last time they had the chance, the person that led them didn't have the mind. He didn't have the courage. Peter Obi had to say that make nobody protest. But you have to follow the footsteps of India. Palestinians went into their homeland. They wanted to suppress them, but India stood up and said, for where? I don't go agree. He went into their own community He tore their clothes. He showed say, craze for craze. So we have to get the point. What the Enugu priest, what they are doing right now, it is no longer fasting and prayer. A Fulani man will come to your community, they will burn it down, they'll be asking you, where's your Jesus? Can your Jesus save you? I mean, these are the questions they ask our innocent, innocent villagers. This could be your mother, they could be your village members. Just imagine. They will start asking them, where's your Jesus? They burn them, they machete them, cold blood. Sometimes they cut them off, they feed them to the dogs. So the pastors must get it right, and I think they need to intensify that protest. This protest should not be a one-off. It has to be a continuous, campaign until the federal government, even though it seems as if the federal government is sentimental towards the Fulanis, well, sometimes how would the federal government say that they are proud to go and open graze, free land for Fulanis to come and graze in someone's community? In Plateau State, in Birum, in what's it called, Langtan, where people have been killed. The federal government did not say, okay, all the souls, all the people that have been killed, their families, if these people are your next of kin, how about you provide their death of certificate or something? Or they just set them up. Some people, look at that woman that has lost. She lost 3 sons and a husband. She just have 1 more daughter. How does she want to start life? This woman merely escaped death, her skin everywhere full of burns. So at this stage, more clerics in other states, they need to also follow the footsteps of the Enugu's priest, because I think this is a welcome idea. Please.
Sons, 140 years, 110.
All right, guys. Well, you from that statement of that woman, this is an helpless woman, harmless, while in their sleep, got her family attacked by these Fulani marauders. Let me also show you what Very Dark Man's investigation just exposed. Government will come out and say that the perpetrators are unknown gunmen, but the victims who experience this very dastard and tragic scene know that these people are not unknown. They are Fulani herdsmen, because when they come, they speak their dialect. Okay? And of course, they question them that where is your Jesus Christ? Where is your Allah? Where is your Isa? Let's watch Very Dark Man together shortly.
Study. I know that when they start burning houses, they want to grab the land or wipe out the ethnic group of those people, So, to the chief,
the Middle Belt must stop this crying to the gallery. They need to stop it. Because at this stage, it is just evident, everything points to the fact that their failure to take their destiny into their hands will indeed lead to their own total wipeout from this motherhead. Because it is obvious that the Nigerian government does not care about them. In a situation whereby some bandits who are, supposedly from the Fulani extractions, mostly go out there, they perpetrate evil, and down the line will come out with the weapons that have killed, taken lives and souls. They will submit it to the government, and the government will have the heart and mind to be forgiving and forgetful, like let them be, let us rehabilitate them. Let these Boko Harams, let these Fulani herders, let them be forgiven, let us rehabilitate them. And within they will say that they will go into a 1 year program of demilitarizing them, of radicalizing them. Look at that woman. Any man born of a woman that calls himself a Fulani bandit, that goes into someone's community unprovoked, burnt their villages and houses, killed her husband and 3 sons. You can see on her body, you can see the marks of burns. Even as little daughter that she was carrying, you can see the bones. And your government, that is, God Almighty, your government will say such people that went into our homes and villages because they have come out to say that they are dropping their guns, that they will be forgiven. Middle belt, middle belt, middle belt. I called you 3 fucking times. Mind my word. The reason why I called you guys is simply because enough is enough. At this stage, I don't think you guys are angry enough. At this stage, I don't think you guys are provoked enough. At this stage, I think you guys have become a lab rat for the simple experiment of what we call the Fulani conquest and jihadist agenda. If they can come into your community and pick you guys up like chickens and slaughter you, and there's no any form of reprisal, any form of response from you guys, or in a situation whereby the government of the day, whether federal or state government, has not set up military bases. If we are supposed to have anything called martial law in any part of this country called Nigeria, at this stage, I think it should be the middle belt. We are supposed to have martial law whereby the militaries at every 100 meters to 200 meters have a checkpoint with police working together with the police to checkmate every road, whether constructed or unconstructed, every community. In this day of Nigeria, May 2nd, 2025, we are supposed to have every community within this area of the middle belt being properly manned by the security personnel. Have we seen Enugu, Rubadu, the NSA of the government, visit the middle belt to at least show them empathy? Have we seen the Ministry of the Minister of Defense, Badaru or Matawale, go in there? They are supposed to have their offices relocated in there. Oh yes. When they do that, it gives the people of the middle belt that sense of citizenship. It gives them that sense of belonging. But we see that whenever little thing happens, I mean, the Minister of Defense, right, released a communique when some people were mistakenly dealt with in Uromi. We saw how the Minister of Defense quickly waded in. But several people have been caught, their lives have been cut short in cold blood. Even before this issue of Uromi, we don't see the Minister of Defense, we don't see the National Security Advisor speak against such act. We know what the Minister of Defense did when some drones, they call it military drones, mistakenly bombed some people in Kaduna or Katsina. The Tinubu is going to Katsina to spend 2 days with the people of Katsina to discuss the improvement of security. Every move of the president seems to be political. If Tinubu is going to Katsina, then he must also visit Plateau before he goes back into that Aso Rock. That is what people call good leadership. Tinubu must not say he wants to spend 2 days in Katsina without saying he wants to get to southern Kaduna, where the Christians are constantly attacked. He mustn't get back into Aso Rock without him branching Benue and Plateau State. I mean, this Plateau and Benue are just maybe 3 hours drive away from Aso Rock, because they are all at the middle. Yes. If Aso Rock is at the middle, Benue and Plateau are just about 3 hours drive away from Aso Rock. The president ordinarily should drive into Plateau and Benue, to show that the federal might is with the people of the Plateau State. But we can see that there's total betrayal of the people of the Middle Belt, openly displayed by the federal government, openly acted by the federal government. The federal government was taking himself about 1 hour flight, right? They will take a flight of 1 hour from Abuja into Katsina, which amongst a burning issues right now, which one is of utmost priority? The people of Katsina or the people of Benue and Plateau State? Just some hours ago, the Fulanis came out to cry that their own cattle herders took his cattle to feed on someone's farm in Plateau, and about 20 of those cattle ate someone's farm produce, and now those cattle are dead. The Fulanis, the youth, are already calling for compensation. A farmer planted his crop, had, applied herbicide or pesticide, as the case might be. You, as a cattle herder, uninvited, carried your cow into the person's farm. Haven't done that, now your cattle don't buy. Right? You can see the news there on my screen. Now, you are now calling for a compensation. A farmer who doesn't have any money, and you know what will follow if the farmer does not compensate. Where is the Ministry of Livestock that Enugu just created? The Ministry of Livestock, why have they not urgently released policies that will at least regulate open grazing? Why? Why has the Ministry of Livestock not called the farmers to say that, okay, for everything, for in any situation whereby a cattle herder comes into your farm and feeds on your farm produce, we will give, you have to apply for insurance, and they will pay you a sum of money as compensation in return. It shouldn't be a situation whereby it is only the cattle herder that gets compensated all the time. I think it is absolutely wrong and unfair for this to be the case. So for me, I think at this level, listening to the words of that woman, it is totally unfair for any Fulani, either bandits, whether Boko Haram, whether Jenim, whether ISWAP, whatever their name is, to be given a second chance to be rehabilitated, looking at this level of evil that they go out there to perpetrate. They do not deserve to have a second chance. Because when you take someone's life unprovoked, not in act of self-defense, indeed, the law of the land should be yours. Life should also be taken. I saw a court sentence for a man who unfortunately killed his wife. His wife happens to be a very popular gospel singer, Osinachi. The man has been sentenced to death by hanging. Right? Why wasn't that man given a second chance to be rehabilitated? Right? Even if that was a marital issue, I am sure the man must have been provoked. But when we try to juxtapose or have a comparative analysis between the issues going on in the Middle Belt, which is an outright act of terrorism, and yet these terrorists are said, let us rehabilitate them. There is no government in the world that does this but Nigeria. Whatever they are afraid of, whatever they are scared of, whatever the sentiment they have for these bandits, this is why you see me yesterday. I released a document, a project, that even though I do not support Tinubu, but it's political movement where he is trying to dismantle the hegemony and the oligarchies of the Fulanis, If that is what he will achieve, even if he puts Nigeria's economy down the drain, it doesn't matter. Because at this stage, there has to be something that is preventing and driving these Fulani herders, whereby they think they can just get into anybody's community, wipe the people out, rename the villages, and take up the ownership of that land. I need people to keep listening to me with open-mindedness. I saw so many people yesterday attacking me in the comment section, saying I'm a Tinubu supporter. No, that is not the case. The agenda is Nigeria has always been a constant battle between the North, the Middle Belt, and the South. In a situation whereby the North have this power, they have this hegemony above every other person, a common Northerner think, or shall I say, a common Fulani man think he is born to rule. Don't forget, the mantra for Sokoto before was born to rule. Before they turn into the seat of power or something like that. The North, a common Fulani man will tell you, I am born to dominate and rule. Such a mindset, even from their childhood. And if this is what Tinubu wants to do, to provoke the North, because every move Tinubu is making right now is to provoke the North. If he does it successfully, I am in support of it, because the North need to be provoked for Nigeria to progress. I don't know if you know what I mean. Let us listen to the full interview of Very Dark Man with our chief. Thank you.
He's greeting you. That you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
The chief say whether you have anything to say so that he can make comments after you have said.
Well, honestly, I've gone to the community. I've seen what happened there, and I am not the government. I don't work with the government, but by the grace of God, I have a big platform that the government see. A lot of them see it. Down to the president, I am very certain of that. So this is why I've come to also throw more light on the issues that is happening here, because a lot of people outside that have not been here, they think it's a religious attack, Christian and Muslims fighting, or a war between Christian and Muslims. But they did not know that it was an attack, unprovoked attack, that the people were not prepared. They were just ambushed. Lives were lost, about 54 people, which I saw their grave. Houses were burnt, and based on my own study, I know that when they start burning houses, they want to grab the land or wipe out the ethnic group of those people, So, to the chief, we just brought some relief materials. Those things cannot bring back life that have been lost. It will not do anything. All these things are what they will even eat, they'll go and shit. Any amount, if you like, let's bring 500 billion. It can never bring back the people that they lost. It will never bring them back. So, the reason for coming is to show the world that please, these people are living peacefully in their community and they are being attacked. These people share boundary with Kaduna people, and the same Kaduna people are also being attacked. So both ways, they are suffering. You understand? So that's why I came, to just show the world that this is what is happening here, nothing more.
The Paramount Chief show his appreciation over you, the President, your entourage, that you heard what happened to this locality. Just imagine for him to to see a person like you this evening. He say you are welcome. What you brought for us, God in heaven will reward you abundantly.
Amen.
He pleads, wherever you are back home, please tender our request to the federal government and even the state government that these attackers, they usually call them unknown government, whereas they knew them, they are the henchmen. They're killing us, but they call them unknown government. So, let the government, either from the federal down to the states, we need a rescue from them. With this kind of ugly situation that has been occurred, a state government can call a peace meeting with collaboration with the henchmen. Does that show that the henchmen are those people or non-government? After they have a meeting with us, they will learn within the hours. You hear he kills a person in this place and this locality. So we are not happy with this ugly situation that is happening in our land.
So let me make clarity to what I understood.
Yes, sir.
Initially, the chief said
Yeah.
that when these killings happen, the government will say they are unknown gunmen.
Exactly.
But after they've killed, they will say they want to do a peace talk. They will now bring the headsmen and them
The
together.
Fulani people.
So,
Okay,
Fulani to be precise, according to them. So, if you say they are unknown gunmen, why are you bringing Fulani? Meaning you know who they are, but you are not doing anything about it.
Exactly.
So it's unknown gunmen when they kill, but when it's time for peace, they bring Fulani.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That is it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
As you are back to your destination, God that brought you here safely will lead you back to your destination safely.
Amen.
Remain blessed.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Chief. 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 So, where's this guy? Abayo, just quickly present one clip for Chief. Just do that.